The Marvel Cinematic Universe is one of the most incredible things that has happened in movies, taking over 20 movies over the span of 12 years and bringing everyone together in a cinematic event that was celebrated all over the world. And throughout it, there have been moments where heroes have become more powerful than you could possibly imagine, but there's also been moments where their powers were brought down to a force that was only a fraction of their former self. For this list, we're going to be focusing on heroes that got nerfed within the MCU, not heroes that were stronger in the comics than they were in the movies. Hello, Top 10 Nerd family. I'm your host, Jade Arena, and today we are going to be diving into a list of top 10 MCU heroes who got nerfed. As always, guys, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. And stick around for the whole list because I'm going to be giving you guys my picks for my favorite superhero video games. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have Old Man Cap. Keeping the timelines the same was a very important part of Avengers Endgame. You can't mess around with time too hard or everything is going to get screwed up and the universes will collapse and everyone will die. Well, they did a pretty good job at this, except for the part where Captain America decides that he won't come back to present day and instead spends all of his time alive with the love of his life, which is probably the most wholesome way that you can end the Captain America story. And honestly, I loved it. But I think it's pretty safe to say that the old man version of Cap will not be getting into a fistfight with George St. Pierre anytime soon. He got nerfed so hard. He gave up his shield to Falcon, and now he is no longer Captain America. But the century-old Captain America could probably still beat me in an arm wrestle any day. Coming in at number 9, we have Thor Has No Hammer. Thor Ragnarok was the movie that really nailed it. Thor Ragnarok was the movie that really nailed Thor. They found a way to give the character so much more personality. The comedic shift to Thor really made Ragnarok one of the best movies in the MCU. Now, right at the start of the movie, Thor and Loki get into a scrap with Hera, the goddess of death, who is also their sister, and Hera, without blinking an eye, explodes Thor's hammer into a million pieces. When I saw this movie, I was very shocked by this turn of events because the hammer is such an iconic piece of Thor. Now, this left him without the ability to use his thunder powers, but he eventually learned that the hammer was just a tool for the real power that was inside him all along. A very classic movie trope. In one movie, we see Thor do a full circle and get his groove back. Coming in at number 8, we have Thor Has No Hammer again. I thought these 2 points would be perfect to do back to back. Well, we all remember the first Thor movie. I'm sure a lot of you out there wish that you didn't remember the first Thor movie, but we've come so far and now the Thor movies are great. But in the very first appearance of Thor in the MCU, we have Thor get into a fight with Odin about breaking some dumb rules. Like, so what if Thor went into Jotunheim and started a conflict with the ice giants that could turn into an all-out war between Asgardians and giants that could lead to the deaths of billions? No biggie. Well, actually, huge biggie. So Odin takes Thor's hammer and then throws him down to Earth with no powers. So half the movie, the God of Thunder is shocked by his environment and has no special powers, like a frat kid at a Mensa party. Coming in at number 7, we have Vision Gets Stabbed. Comic fans know that Vision is an extremely powerful superhero. I mean, he has an Infinity Stone in his head. That's got to give you a pretty high IQ. Now, we have seen Vision do some amazing things like shutting down Ultron's neural network and picking up Thor's hammer. And because the hero is such a powerful force, I think the writers of Avengers Infinity War wanted to take him down a little bit so he couldn't be that powerful. Now, they do this by having one of the members of the Black Order, Corvus Glaive, stab him with his extremely powerful, glaive. I wonder how the dude got the name. Now, his glaive has a list of abilities. It can cut through any known being in the universe. It can prevent him from being destroyed if he's holding it, and he can recall it at any time. So when Corvus slices into Vision, it distorts his ability to phase and heal, leaving him in a weakened state. Coming in at number 6, we have Spider-Man without his suit. Spider-Man Far From Home was the Spider-Man movie we were all waiting for. It really embodied what we love about the comics, and a big part of that is the relationship that he has with Tony Stark. Now, Stark gives him a suit to help maximize the use of his powers. Throughout the movie, Parker's learning his new skills, hacking into the suit and unlocking the full potential, and getting buddy-buddy with the artificial intelligence that is programmed to instruct him on how everything works. And then right when it seems like Spidey has gotten control, when he's moving out of the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man role into the web-slinging hero of New York, Tony Stark comes in and takes the suit away. Mind you, Spider-Man did cause a catastrophe that almost left a ton of people injured, but we were so Close, this forces Spider-Man to do his final encounter with the big bad Vulture with his homemade rags, once again proving that the abilities are inside you, not in the tools. I'm starting to see a little bit of a theme here. Coming at number 5, we have Doctor Strange doesn't use the Time Stone. In Avengers Infinity War, the Avengers actually have 2 of the stones in their possession for most of the movie, and they don't use them. Now, this might seem like a massive plot hole, but it's actually very justified. I mean, one stone is in Vision's head, and they want to stop him from being ripped apart by Thanos, so they opt to remove it, and the other stone, which Doctor Strange has, never gets used because the Doctor knew that Thanos would be too powerful, and he would basically just take the stone away from him. So he thought hiding it would be the better option, even though he used the stone to defeat a god in the previous Doctor Strange movie when he locks Dormammu in a time loop. Now, you could argue that he did use the stone when he looked through the different timelines, but I'm putting it on the list because he didn't use it in the actual fight. Coming in at number 4, we have Fat Thor. Honestly, an amazing choice for Avengers Endgame. Fat Thor was funny and addressed the fact that some of these heroes would be suffering from PTSD due to their massive loss. Thor was clearly battling with a very harsh case of depression, which made a movie packed with superheroes feel so much more real. But even if his physical abilities aren't explicitly said to be weaker, there's no way that Fat Thor has as good cardio as Fit Thor. Also, he's definitely in a weakened emotional state. Coming in at number 3, we have Hulk Won't Get Angry. Avengers Infinity War starts with a display of Thanos' power, so the whole movie there is no question as to how powerful the Mad Titan is. He lays a beat down on Hulk that leaves him nerfed for the whole movie. Hulk refuses to come out of Banner and fight again because the first time he lost so hard and he doesn't want to get his head kicked in a second time. Coming in at number 2, we have Iron Man gets his core pulled out. Going back to the movie that started it all, this was just a dream way back when, and then it all came together so perfectly thanks to the amazing minds working on the MCU. And when it started, there was Tony Stark in a cave with a bunch of scrap, building an arc reactor to insert into his own chest to stop shrapnel from slicing into his heart. Man, you really have to trust yourself. I get nervous when I gotta pull an eyelash out of my eye. If you guys remember this movie, you'll know that Tony Stark was a prisoner of war, and once he was rescued, he builds a new arc reactor to insert into his chest that wasn't made out of spare parts so he doesn't die. And just when you think things are moving smoothly, he gets double crossed by Jeff Bridges, who removes the new arc reactor from his chest and leaves him there to die. But Tony won't go down without a fight, and he puts the old janky reactor back into his chest, jumps into an Iron Man suit to save the day with the limited energy that the simplistic reactor provides. Does he do it? Well, he's in like 10 movies after that, so you can guess that everything worked out. And coming in at the number 1 spot, we have Baby Groot. Oh my god, we saved the cutest for last. Baby Groot is the combination of one of the most wholesome dumb brutes in movies, getting a second chance at life, and the bigwigs over at Marvel being like, how do we make more money off of plushies? I mean, it's great. Who wouldn't want a Baby Groot in their home? But Groot was never crazy powerful. We weren't going to see him take down Ego single-handedly, but once he was in his little baby form, he was helpless at times. Like when all of those Marauders were being mean to him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I hate that part. But even though this change nerfed his physical abilities, his personality was amazing because eventually we got to Teenage Groot, which I love so much. There's nothing like a moody adolescent plant to bring home some comedy gold. Alright nerds, that is the end of this list, but I'm going to close it out with my picks for my favorite superhero video games. First up is Overwatch. Now, Overwatch isn't a comic book superhero video game, but it is packed full of superpowered people who are literally called heroes. Each character has unique abilities, so you can find your playstyle that works for you. It's one of the few first-person shooters that I'm decent at because it can find a role that works to my skills, and I don't have to be this quick twitch reaction kind of guy to play the game. Next, I have Hulk Ultimate Destruction. This game came out on the PS2, and I still think about it all the time. It was an amazing game that really made you feel like you had the full power of the Green Rage case. It's very simple action RPG, but through its simplicity is an amazing game. And to close it out, we have Spider-Man on PS4. Yes, this is a generic choice, but this game is legitimately amazing. They managed to make Spider-Man feel so good, and they start to create their own universe that I can't wait to see them expand on. This game is truly a must play. Alright, that is all we have for you today. I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, nerds, I've been Chad Arena, and keep enjoying this nerding content. Bye.